Hello, hey! Welcome to another episode of Elevated. Sorry, I'm your host, the Elevated Engineer. All right, so we gonna get into it. No rush tonight. You know what I mean. Just got a couple of things. Right. All right. So before I get into the topic of the day, I just want to show you all just one little clip. Here it is. So I thought this was hilarious. Let's see how we. All right. So let's just watch this clip really quick. It's funny. It's super short, but it's super funny. All right. For all my Marines, y'all know what this is. No sound. Sorry. All right. Let's start over.
What's going on, Marine?
Good morning, Sergeant.
How's your holiday weekend?
It was good. Just stayed in the barracks and stuff.
Good shit. Instagram said you was in Cancun.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Sergeant. It was going down. It was going down out there. I had to make an appearance.
Oh, it was going down.
Yes,
What else
Sergeant.
going down?
What, Sergeant?
You're paying rent. I ain't no special request for that.
All right, Sergeant.
Yep, that's all we try.
Sorry. Let's watch this shit again. I'm sorry. This is too funny.
What's going on, Marine?
Good morning, Sergeant.
How's your holiday weekend?
It was good. Just stayed in the barracks and stuff.
Good shit. Instagram said you was in Cancun.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, Sergeant. It was going down. It was going down out there. I had to make an appearance.
Oh, it was going down.
Yes,
What else
Sergeant.
going down?
What, Sergeant?
You're paying rent. I ain't no special request for that.
All right, Sergeant.
Yep, that's all we try.
Sorry. That shit's funny as hell. I'm sorry. It's funny as hell. Oh my god. that brings us. That brings us to the topic of the day. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah, there she is. Okay. So, how does this tie into Sha'Carri Richardson? Now, I wish this young lady the best. She seems like, she works very hard. And having to qualify for the Olympics after losing your mother is probably one of the toughest things ever. But with that being said, this lady is a lesson in accountability. Now, what do I mean? Now, with Sha'Carri, look, we understand she was going through a lot. We understand that, the Olympics is a lot. But homegirl worked her butt off to get where she is right now. And I'm not gonna do what a lot of people do. I'm not gonna be like, oh, let her ride. No. That's not what we're gonna do. Because that goes against the rules of the Olympic Committee. And you could say, a lot of people say that, okay, well, for those who don't know the story, Sha'Carri Richardson is an Olympic runner, and she popped on a drug test for marijuana after she ran this. Not only does she not, is she not able to compete in the upcoming Olympics, which I'm not even sure we're still gonna have, but they also vacated her win, so her breaking that record doesn't even count. So a lot of people I seen on social media was like, let it run, let it run. It's just like, yo, no, we can't do that. Like, yes, should marijuana be on the ban list? I don't know. Okay? But it is. And unfortunately, that's just the truth. A lot of us don't want to take the responsibility. Look, a lot of black folks need to understand that if you want to be successful, your vices are going to either have to get mitigated or removed if they're contrary to your goals. What do I mean? Sha'Carri Richardson should not be able to run in the Olympics. I'm just going to say that straight up. And she's not. And not only did they not allow her to do, I think it's a 100 meter dash, but they also didn't choose her to do the relay run. Now, I think they largely did that because a lot of the stuff she was putting up was she was like, "Oh, the Olympics ain't gonna be nothing without me." Look, no one's gonna remember Sha'Carri Richardson in 2 years unless she uses her clout to do whatever as a celebrity. Okay, yeah, but no one's gonna remember Sha'Carri Richardson because. Look, we remember the accomplishments, but there's a lot going on in a world right now, man. So it's a little bit of arrogance there. Now she did take accountability. She said she made the mistake, but the girl lost her mom maybe a week before she qualified, which means she started smoking bud. Within a week of her qualifying and breaking that record. Now, she knew for a fact that she was going to pop on that test. And we could say everything we want. We could say, oh, she's young. Oh, she was going through, the issues of heartbreak. Yeah, okay. Everybody's going through something. I guarantee if you go through every one of those Olympians' backgrounds, they all going through something. What y'all really should be more upset about is the fact that they got a trans woman competing against other women. That's something y'all should be upset about because that just opens the floodgates, man. They're not even gonna have women's sports in the next decade if that isn't mitigated or controlled. Like that's the stuff people should really be upset about. They should be upset that those two women are not allowed to compete because they have naturally higher testosterone than other women. So it's like that's the stuff people should be upset about, not somebody who fucked up and she's now facing the consequences. And the reason I showed that video of the Marine getting in trouble for hanging out because I've been on both sides of that discussion that they've had. I've been the Marine. When I was young, oh my God. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe for me. You know what I mean? Somebody drop that fool for me. But I've been on the other side. I've been on the side where it's like, look, Sergeant, like, we coming in, like, I know I'm gonna get in trouble. I know I am. But I had to go out there and make an appearance. I mean, look, when you are young, you gonna make the mistakes. I honestly think that this is going to make her better. Well, it could make her better. It could because some people never recover, and my Marine friends will tell you straight up. When we was young, there was a lot of people getting kicked out. They was getting kicked out of the Marine Corps because, a lot of it was because of immaturity, but a lot of it was just discipline. And the truth be told is, even though some of my really good friends got kicked out, and it's unfortunate that it had to happen that way, they all deserved it. They did. It's not nice to say, but it's the truth. You know? They all deserved it. And it sucks. And I hate that it got, but that could have been me. Honestly, that could have been me getting kicked out. But I wisened up. I surrounded myself with the right people. And the right people looked out for me. It's just like, nah, bro. Nah, little bro. You don't need to be doing this. Focus on this. Don't worry about, partying, and don't worry about all this dumb shit, because you go see what's gonna happen to them. And it took a while for me to realize, like, yeah, man, they was right. I'm glad I did straighten up. And a lot of people who was looking out for me wasn't even black. Straight up. And a lot of people who was leading me down that tunnel of fuckery was black. And now I think that's Sha'Carri's problem. She probably is not hanging around the right people, because the right people would have told her, nah, you don't need to smoke that. You need to hit this fifth of Hennessy and chill. I know it's hard, right now, but you need to hit this so that way, because you go pop on that test. And truth be told, you fumble in your bag. You fumble in your bag. Sha'Carri Richardson is going to lose out on potentially millions of dollars now, and endorsements and all that stuff. But here's the thing that's really crazy, because I seen a lot of people on social media. I'm a little late because I know this happened about a week or so ago. But I see a lot of people on social media like, comparing her to like Michael Phelps without even doing any research, and not understanding that Michael Phelps never popped on a drug test. Not once. He's never popped on a drug test. Michael Phelps got caught well after the Olympics was over at a party smoking a bong, and somebody took a picture of Michael Phelps and put it on social media. They suspended Michael Phelps for 3 months, and he had to compete in, I think, the Nationals in 5 months. So he couldn't even do anything for 3 months. They took away at least one of Michael Phelps' endorsements. Again, he never popped. And just because you got a picture of him smoking a bong doesn't even mean he was smoking weed. Probably was, but Sha'Carri Richardson got a 1-month suspension. And I believe they gave her 1 month because she had to complete some type of like program or something like that. But they didn't take away any of her endorsements. It's not like they banned her for life. She can still compete. She can't compete in the Olympics now, but she can still compete in the Worlds and the Nationals. And in 4 years, if she's still that chick, then she can compete in 4 years. But you have to face consequences for your actions, and you got to be accountable. And she, to her credit, when she was interviewed, she took accountability, and that I can respect. But here's the bottom line. A lot of people, a lot of black folk are straight up potheads. And okay, that's cool. I will never judge that. Okay. But you got to understand, there's going to be consequences. There's going to be things that you're not going to be able to do. Because smoking bud is still illegal on a federal level. It's still illegal. Not only that, you all don't see the bigger picture. There are countries that if you get caught with bud, they will execute your ass. Some of those countries are competing in the Olympics. There are countries that if you get caught with weed or smoking weed, they will throw you and your family in prison for 30 years. So really, she's not really getting that hard of a punishment, but she is going to have to pay for this. So that's my point. That's why I showed the Marine getting it in. That's why I talked about myself, how I I fucked up my bag. I fumbled my bag. Okay, especially when I was younger, especially when I was in her age group. I fumbled my bag by doing dumb shit I knew I was gonna get in trouble for, but I did it anyway. So that's my point. So, with that being said, oh, I'm sorry. There's one other point I wanted to make because I don't think this is getting enough credit. There are a lot of the U.S. track team is probably like 70% black women anyway. Okay, so there are a lot of other track stars that y'all could be looking at instead of focusing on just the one. You know, I just got this from I put this post up on Facebook, and you see all these black women that are competing, and yeah, like yeah, uh, you know, ah, like look at Anna Cockrell, who look good as hell. Um, her. Look at all these women. There's all these women that y'all could be supporting who are going to Olympics. Now Gwen Berry, she's the one who turned away from the national anthem. Salute to her. She's super thick. I don't care what nobody says. She's super thick. Look at them. All these women. I seen Tara Davis. She looked good as hell. First Olympics team. Quenisha Burke. She looked good as hell. She's a little thick, but hey, you know. But my point is, damn. My point is, there's all these women. Allison Felix is like, she had a kid, right? She got all these medals. She got silver medals, gold medal, after having a kid. And they tried to take away her sponsorship because she got pregnant. Come on. And y'all talking about Sha'Carri Richardson? Please. Look at all these black women. That ain't heard nobody talk about. Accountability. These women are holding it down. And I'm not for boycotting the Olympics because I know that all them people work their asses off to be able to get it there. I think we should just support them, as much as we can. We know these all these racist policies. You still got Simone Biles, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm gonna support them. And Sha'Carri Richardson, you gotta do better next time. So, with that being said, again, next topic. So, Dallas Rays, and YouTube could really go kick rocks because YouTube wouldn't let me put assassination in the damn title, which is like, okay, actual news happening, but okay. But so, and I hope I'm saying this correctly. No, I don't want to offend my Haitian brothers and sisters, But yeah. So President Jovenel Moise, as I hope you all are aware of, was assassinated this past week. It's complicated to say the least. And it's interesting because so much new info is coming out. So I'm just gonna go through this article really quick. This is an article from The Guardian. But so the title says, doubt raised about the assassination of Haiti's president. Police claim that Jovenel Moise was killed by mainly Colombian hit squad, thrown into doubt. It's getting more complicated as we keep going. But okay. And this was just updated today. Saturday, July 10th, this morning. So questions have been raised over Haiti's official narrative of an assassination of a president who was gunned down at his mansion in Port-au-Prince. Am I saying that right? To all my Haitian guys, to all my Zols, can y'all please correct me? Cause you know I don't speak Creole or French. But last Wednesday. Haitian police and politicians who stepped into political vacuum created by Mose's killing have claimed he was shot at about 1 a.m. by members of a predominantly Colombian hit squad who had stormed the president's hillside residence on some Scarface type shit. Foreigners came to our country to kill the president, police chief said. However, opposition politicians and media reports in Haiti and Colombia are now casting doubt on that version. As uncertainty grips the Caribbean country and the streets of the capital remain eerily quiet amid fears, Haiti is lurching into a new phase of political and social upheaval. Man, Haiti can't catch a break, man. They really can't. On Friday, Stephen Benoit, a prominent opposition politician and former senator, told the local radio station Magic 9 the president was assassinated by his own guards, not by the Colombians. See how we're getting different versions of what's going on? A report in the Colombian magazine Semana, citing an anonymous source, suggested that former Colombian soldiers had traveled to Haiti after being hired to protect Mose, who had reputedly been receiving death threats rather than kill him. So, President Mose, I believe, has stayed in power longer than his term was supposed to allow him. And that's going to create a lot of enemies, but he was also propped up by the U.S. too, which is weird, to say the least. Point blank, this man had a lot of enemies, okay? He had a lot of enemies. But every president has a lot of enemies, so that's not really saying anything, you know? So, keep going. Further adding to the mystery, the Colombian newspaper El Tiempo claimed a source had told it that the security footage for the presidential compound showed the Colombian operatives arriving there between 2:30 and 2:40 a.m. on Wednesday. That means they arrived 1.5 hours after the crime against the president, the source was quoted as saying, okay? Early on Friday, Colombian authorities named 13 alleged Colombian mercenaries whom Haitian security officials have captured and claims were involved. This is weird to me. Like, you hired Colombian mercenaries. Like, I don't know. It just seems weird. You think if you're going to assassinate a president, you don't want to hire some mercenaries. You want to hire some professional assassin type non-mercenaries who maybe work for a state, who maybe can do it in a small team, maybe less than 10 or so. So, and these like damn near 30 people that they caught in this. I believe two Haitian Americans and the rest were Colombian. It just seems weird. Okay. They included Manuel Antonio Grosso Gorain, a former member of an elite unit of the Colombian army called the Urban Counterterrorism Special Forces Group, which specializes in handling hostage standoff and protection of VIP. So they had a special ops guy. Grosso, 41, is alleged to have arrived in Haiti with 10 former soldiers on 6 June after traveling through the resort town of Punta Cana in DR, which I've been to multiple times, which shares the island of Hispaniola with Haiti. A second group of ex-soldiers arrived in Haiti about a month earlier via Panama. Haiti's police chief told journalists 15 Colombians have been arrested in the aftermath for the president's killing, as well as 2 U.S. citizens of Haitian descent, who have been named as 35-year-old James Solages and 55-year-old Joseph Vincent. 3 Colombians were killed while 8 suspects remain at large. So how many is that total? That's like, what, 34 people? How do you know it's 8 suspects? Okay, we are citizens not to take justice to their own hands. Yeah, they wanted to. The Haitians was outside the. I don't know, it was the hospital or embassy or it might have been a police station where they got the mercenaries arrested. They like, nah, we want them. We bring them out. Bring them out. We can learn something from them. The presence of such a large number of foreigners among the 80 Haitians leaders, alleged killers, has shocked many, particularly in Haiti itself, by Colombian gunfire who have been turning up in war zones around the world. Colombians have a reputation. Let's keep it real. Including Yemen, Iraq, Israel, Afghanistan for years. Many were once trained by U.S. soldiers and, having spent years battling insurgent groups of drug traffickers within Colombia, go on to find work with U.S.-based PMCs. I mean, yeah. People don't realize Colombians have been used as mercenaries and assassins since like World War II. Trained by us, by the way. Okay. Skip that. After so many years of warfare, Colombia just has a surplus of people are trained in lethal tactics. Yeah. The Director for Defense Oversight, and keep in mind, I've never read this article, so I'm learning as I'm going, just like you all. Many of them have been hired, and I'll post this in the description after I put it up there. Many of them have been hired by private firms off in the Middle East, where they make a lot more money than they did in Colombia's armed forces. No kidding. Others have ended up being hired guns for narco traffickers and landowners. And now forever plan this operation in Haiti. Blah, blah, blah. A headline in El Tipi on Friday said, Colombian mercenaries trained, cheap, and available, and effective. Damn sure effective. The wife of one of the arrested Colombians told local radio that her husband, Francisco Eladio Urube, had been hired by an agency to travel to the DR to provide security to wealthy families, but had not been given specific details of his mission. See, this is getting weird. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he would tell his wife everything, but it seems like, I mean, they were used. Of course, they're mercenaries, but it just seems weird. He was a very good soldier, husband, and partner. They always are. She said, admitting, however, that her spouse had been investigated for his role in the forcible disappearance and murder of civilians, who were later passed off as guerrillas to inflate combat kills and receive bonuses. Okay. Conflicting claims over the president's assassination and controversial calls from Haiti's Elections Minister Matthias Pierre for U.S. military intervention to protect key infrastructure have left many of Haitians' 11 million citizens suspicious and on edge. So they're calling for the U.S. to protect. I don't know what protect key infrastructure really means, but they're calling for U.S. To protect probably assets. I'm not really sure, but that just seems weird, right? Okay, so Paul Raymond, a 41-year-old school teacher, and okay, it seems weird because Haiti is not Iraq. You know, it's not technically a third world country. It has infrastructure, it has a government, but it just seems weird. But I'm not Haitian, so I don't know. But okay, so Paul Raymond, a 41-year-old school teacher from Port-au-Prince, said he was convinced the president had been betrayed by members of his own security team, who have reportedly been summoned to explain why they failed to protect him. What's really weird to me is that they came in, they blasted the president 12 times, so they claim. Shot the wife. She's still alive. She's now in Miami. And the daughter got away. Where was the security at during all this? It's just weird. So, my thing is there should be more. Well, I won't wish it on anybody, but there should be more security guards dead or injured, right? And if I'm wrong, let me know. All right. Okay. This was planned by people who know him and people who know the house. Raymond claimed, voicing bewilderment that none of Moy's bodyguards were reportedly injured during the assault. That's my point. Again, I am reading this and I am learning with you all as well. I have not read this article before, but these are just the basic common sense questions. Like, there should be. My point is this: if someone were to try to assassinate the president of the United States, he's going to have to go through a lot. Now, again, U.S. is not Haiti, but those people are going to have to go. They're going to have to go through Secret Service. They're going to have to go through the military that guards them. They're going to have to go through DC police, especially if it happened in DC. They're going to have to go through DC police. They're going to have to go through all these different, groups of people before they get to the president. And even if they do assassinate him, like, it's gonna be a damn battle. Especially the way they did it. Okay? So were reportedly none of Moises' bodyguards were reportedly injured during the assault, not even his dogs. Okay. Alfredo Antony, a former congressman, said he suspected the murder was the work of powerful Haitian oligarchs. They killed him because they didn't want their interests harmed. Okay. Jake Johnson, a Haiti specialist from the Center of Economic and Policy Research think tank, says sending U.S. troops was not in a solution to the political upheaval. They really don't want the Marines going there. I'm telling you, they really don't. They think they do. Maybe a couple of people do, but they really do not want the U.S. to go in. They really don't. To think that foreign intervention is a solution to this is mind-boggling. Like, I just don't see it. To me, I don't see the need for U.S. to send troops there. I mean, maybe some CIA or something like that, but some spooks or whatever. But I just don't see it. It's like, it's not. What I mean, it's not like Haiti is a hotbed for like terrorism. Okay, it's not like Haiti is like a place where they have, nuclear weapons pointed at America or something like, you know what I mean? So I just don't see it, but, I'm just learning as you all are, and this is just my opinion. But to think that foreign intervention is a solution to this is mind-boggling, said Johnson, pointing to a centuries-long history of foreign meddling in Haiti, including an almost 2-decade U.S. occupation that followed the 1915 assassination of its president, John Vilbrun Guillaume Sam, and I apologize if I got that wrong. You know how business is done. The last intervention in the United Nations brought cholera and killed thousands of people, said Kinsley John, a youth leader and political activist. This is not what we need right now. Okay, so that's the end of the article. Now, 2 things. 1, remember. Hold on, let me take that down. Remember. Well, first, I'm not going to speculate on the motives because I really don't know. But I will say this. This hit seemed like it was amateur hour for these guys. Yes, they had a ton of support. But the way it was conducted and all these guys, damn near 30, was caught, it just seems odd. So there's obviously someone pulling the strings behind this. We may never find out. Who knows? But the 2 things I wanted to talk about. 1, remember when Wyclef Jean was running for president and they tried to kill him and they shot him in the hand? I didn't even find that out until like 5 years after it happened. Maybe longer. I bet you most people don't even know that there was an assassination attempt on Wyclef Jean. Yes, that Wyclef Jean. And the second thing. This is why this is important for black folk. Not only black folk in Haiti and the Caribbean, black folk in America, black Americans, us, the niggas. But it's also important for the continent. Why? Because if it's not going to work in Haiti, it's not going to work anywhere. That's my point. If it's not going to work in Haiti, it's not going to work anywhere. Haiti is the only independent black nation, but they really not independent. Really. They were at one point, but they're not. But if Haiti can't have a stable country, then none of us are going to be stable. And by us, I mean black folk. We're not. Like, and here, we look at things differently here, okay? Black Americans look at things differently because we've always been a minority, right? We're only 13, 14% of the population in the U.S. So we look at things differently. Black Americans, we're always having our back against the wall, kind of. Like, we're always a minority unless we in the hood, or at HBCU or something like that. But we're always like, you know what I'm saying? What's your name, bro? You know what I'm saying? But that's just how we are. That's how we've been for centuries. Like, we are a minority here, right? So that's why this is important. Plus, there's a fairly sizable Haitian population, especially in Miami, especially where I live. Like, there's a fairly sizable Haitian population, and I fuck with those. You know what I mean? Like, I fuck with those. But in America, like in terms of black demographics, 90% of black folks, obviously, in the U.S. are Black Americans. Whether ADOS, FBA, African Americans, whatever. Okay. The next largest population is either gonna be Nigerians or Jamaicans, and then after that is Haitians. So I mean, yes, it's a significant population. So moving on to the next topic. Something a little less depressing. So yeah, we finally have some basic character designs for the game I'm working on. So the game is gonna be Math War. I'm gonna be putting up these character designs on social media in the next few weeks to kind of build a little bit of interest. Salute to my team who've been working their butt off, coming with these designs. Things are coming along pretty nicely. So ideally, I should have some footage up by the end of the summer of actual gameplay and some of the bugs worked out. So this whole process, man, it's building a game is not just like one person doing one thing and I'm just bro. It's a whole collaborative project. My team so far is pretty good. I may be hiring a sound engineer. Probably before the end of the year. That's probably yeah, before the end of the year. Because as much as I can do, you're gonna need help. You're gonna need help. It's a collaborative process. It's like making a record by yourself. Like, yeah, I can rap, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not a DJ. I'm not a producer. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a sound engineer. I'm not any of this stuff. So, it's a collaborative project. It's a very detailed, deep project, and it takes a lot of time. But you gotta love it. It's a labor of love, man. Math War is coming along. We got our main race down right now. We're gonna be working on the next race, and by race I don't mean black white. I mean actual different races. Different races, So yeah, man. Math War is on its way. We burning that midnight oil to bring you the best experience that you can have. So that's gonna be this week's episode. Oh yeah, don't forget Like, share, subscribe. I know I already said that already. Drop a comment. Salute to Kwame Brown, bro. Like, just by him, advertise. I think I got like an additional like 10 like subscribers just for him, letting people, come on his platform, his YouTube stuff. So I really appreciate the work and the presence that he has, because my subscriber base is just growing just from, me contributing to him. So I definitely appreciate that. Definitely check out my Get on Code series, where I'm actually teaching people how to code in tutorials. I know I said this before, but I'm going to keep saying it. We need more coders. We need more people that can teach coding. So, again, that's this week's episode of Elevator. I'm your host, Elevision Engineer. Thanks, engineering fam. That's it.